Hey everybody, this is my 125 gallon native tank, and I've recently had a little flurry of putting sunfish in the tank, and yesterday I added a second bluegill, and it turns out that it is another male of one of the species I already have in there. And so not only is there conflict between those two fish, I don't need two of the same fish in there. I want to have some variety in here. I want to be able to display some different fish and some different colors and so on and so forth. So as I've already said to a lot of people, this tank is going to change a lot. Initially, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this tank. There's going to be fish coming and going. There's probably going to be fish getting eaten or devoured by crayfish, or who knows. But this tank is going to change quite a lot in the near future. And as time goes on, as I really acquire, special specimens and stunning fish that, obviously are going to be ones that stick around, over time this tank will sort of settle into being an established, this is the fish that are in this tank. Until then, however, consider pretty much everything in here as being transient or temporary. The two fish that are right here in the front, they have to come out anyway. They're non-native. It's a story behind how they got in the tank in the first place. I thought they were something else when I put them in there. So those are going to come out and go to my local fish store whenever I'm planning on a trip down there. This is the big bluegill that is going to stay in the tank for now. And I have yet to see the smaller bluegill in the tank, but that is going to be my task today. I'm going to get in there and try to catch that smaller bluegill that I just put in there yesterday afternoon. And he is going over to a friend of mine's golf course and going to get released into the golf course pond. And while I'm there, I'm going to try to catch one of the sunfish that I've seen in the pond over there. I'm not great at identifying the species, but I believe they are red-breast sunfish that are in the pond. At least the one I've seen had a really, really dark reddish-orange breast and a darker upper body and back. And at the time I thought, it was kind of dark. I didn't think the colors would really stand out in the tank, and it was the very first sunfish I'd caught for the entire season. And I decided to throw it back just because, why take the first fish you catch? And now I kind of wish I'd taken the first fish I caught. But I didn't. And so here we are. This is the green sunfish that is also going to stay in the tank. And I still do not see the other one. I wonder if it's hiding up in one of the corners somewhere. Yep, sure enough, there it is. Okay, so that gives you an idea of why this fish is coming out of the tank. The bluegill that we were just looking at, this larger one, who is already getting very comfortable around me and is obviously coming over to see what I'm doing, does not seem like it's a very aggressive fish, and it doesn't really go after the green sunfish. And then I put that other fish in, and suddenly it started terrorizing it. So the explanation I got makes perfect sense. The green sunfish is a different species and therefore not a threat. The sunfish that we just saw huddling up in the corner is another bluegill. It's another male bluegill, so that one does represent a threat. So while the larger one is not being aggressive towards that little green sunfish, it's being very aggressive towards this other male bluegill, and that's why it's been relegated to cowering in the corner like this. These sunfish are very aggressive fish. So I'm going to get in there, and hopefully he'll stay up close to the top of the water like that, and it won't be too terribly difficult catching him. But in my experience, I imagine this is going to be terribly difficult trying to catch him, especially in a tank with this many places to hide and this many things to get in the way of my net. So I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing me catch it, but that's not going to happen because I'm not even going to bother attempting to get this on film. It's going to be frustrating enough just getting in there and doing it in the first place. But I will shoot a video later of me releasing it over at the golf course, and maybe we'll see the actual time of me catching the fish that we're going to replace it with. Hopefully we'll get a nice pretty redbreast sunfish, or at least something different in here. So make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss any of that. There should be more video coming up on this tank later today, and of course in the very near future. I'm just obsessed with this tank. I feel like a kid at Christmas. I'm loving every minute of this. So like I said before, I'm not going to forget about my other tanks, but I am going to be probably spending quite a lot of time showing you this one. So hopefully you're not going to get sick of seeing it. So again, make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss any of the updates coming up. Thanks again for watching. This is my native tank. I'll see you real soon in the next one.